Hi, Lewis here.
And Kristiina.
And we are
Ascension Dimension. Sorry.
It's Friday here for us. It's been a packed week.
Oh, mega packed week, yes.
All good. Mostly good. Some mega 3D stuff, accountants and criminal, thieving bastard, tax organisations, the mob. But we're going to talk about
the positive side to the awakening and what's happened in the last 2 years, I suppose. Yeah.
Because there has been a huge amount of, what's the alternative to waking up is staying asleep and kind of pretending that what we had was all right, which it wasn't.
Yeah, that always reminds me of that scene in the Matrix movie where he says ignorance is bliss and he's eating his steak, but it's not. It's not. I think that there's a lot of people like to focus on the negative, but I think once you push through and you see all the positive stuff, there's so many good things come out of this complete crazy that we've whirlwinded through together as humanity over the last 2 years.
And the only way out of deep MK Ultra programming is to become very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So these fear narratives about Schwab and co, the Bond villains that are getting together in Davos right now, or the clones of, who knows. When all these fear narratives are coming out, it's enough to jolt people out of their slumber, because things that were written off as conspiracy theories are all of a sudden materializing right in front of everyone's face. I don't really think that's happening. I very, very confidently believe that that's not, but anyway, it's necessary. Right. You was in one of the Zooms from your Tuesday meetings, yeah?
I don't know. This wasn't a Tuesday meeting. This was just a private meeting that I was
saying something about the need for people to get uncomfortable to get out of their program because they're so programmed.
Yeah, there's been so I've been involved in quite a few meetings. So one of them was one of the Tuesday meetings that I go to, and it was about hypnotherapy and how the all of that works. And the only way to do that is to do the same programming in reverse to get people awake. And then another one that I've been in where we were talking to a psychiatrist was saying that the only way to unprogram with the fear is to get even deeper into fear. The only way to let people see it is to give them something even scarier, because they're already in the fear narrative, so your brain only sees the negative and the scary stuff, so you need to go even deeper into that. That's what she was saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that could explain a lot of the things that we're seeing. We don't look at mainstream at all now.
No.
So, but I think a lot of the fear narratives that are continuing aren't necessarily all bad in terms of the intention behind them. It wouldn't surprise me if some of the mainstream scary things are just to kind of get people to do some digging and to start looking into why is this happening?
Yeah.
And it doesn't take long to get into these rabbit holes. It doesn't take long to find out some actual information about what's really been going on. So
yeah, it's hard to. I think we turned the news on the other day, or somebody. It came on and it was like, oh, the news is just all really sad and really, all they talk about is this pandemic or that's fear thing, and it's like, well, how do people stay in that state once you've, because we don't look at it. I find it very difficult to even watch stuff like that. But the narratives are getting scarier, and the news is getting scarier. So I think it's.
I honestly don't know.
No, I've asked people that watch it. So
anyway,
even my mum, who used to watch the news 24/7, like literally, she'd fall asleep to the news and wake up. We had it on constantly. She doesn't watch it anymore. and she was watching it at the doctor's office because they had to go for a checkup. And she said, she couldn't stand watching it because all they're talking about is whatever's going on in the world, in the Ukraine, and there's new pandemics coming out and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was like, wow, okay.
And that's not to say be ignorant of world events.
No, not at all.
It's just be careful where you get your information from. Anyway, we've really digressed, haven't
we? Yeah, we have. So the positive side of awakening. That's what I really wanted to talk about, because like we have this conversation with our friends, and we talk about, well, you know, when this all started and we all got locked up and it was like everyone was really upset and stuff. I was like, well, I was very thankful to the beginning where we got kidnapped at home, as we call it, because it just slowed everything down. Didn't have to go anywhere. But it also made us realise, I don't think we'd have ever got sober if that hadn't happened, you know, because it made us really look at ourselves. And then you start seeing all these other positive things that are coming out of it, all this new connections and new groups and things that are coming together. It's really something amazing. It's really, really amazing.
Yeah. And one of the other things, not on the list here, but it's just popped into my head, is that there's so many different ways of looking at a given situation. I mean, the first thing with the lockdown was like, well, what is this thing? You know, it's very scary. But there must be more to what's going on.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it's these globalists. But then when I dig in even further, or maybe it's a change in consciousness, or maybe I'm just wrong, could it be that there's some military operations that needed us out the way, you know, and it's that shift in the way of seeing things. But you have to do a lot of work to get to that point, and even now a lot of people I talk to, like, that are awake, you know, they're like, well, I don't see it, you know. Yeah, they're well up to date with you know, who's the puppet masters and who's running the show, or has been historically running the show behind the scenes. Any number of rabbit holes, but when it comes to that there could be something really good happening right now, they're like, well, I still don't see it. But I'm very, very confidently up there with that. There's wonderful things happening behind the scenes, but they have to be covert, because they have to maintain this scary situation to jolt everyone up. So they can't just be going around going, oh, here's Jasara, here's Nasara, we're going to give you loads of money and you're going to be no longer debt slaves, etc., and we're going to have all these med beds, and that's just not going to, everyone's just going to, it's not going to serve any purpose for waking people up and getting them to make ultimately a free will choice. Yeah, this is very, very significant. Anyway, so that was the thing that we hadn't written down, because it was popping into my head, the whole, there's so many ways of looking at these situations, and I noticed in the same way that, like, the bad ones, you know, the cabal, whatever, would they try and get you twice. They try and use the same situation in a couple of ways. I like the example of sensitive shaving foam, sensitive shaving cream, because it's like they say, oh, here's sensitive shaving cream, and every time I use it, it's like, my face is burning. It's like they know. They're like, this guy's got sensitive skin, so we're going to mess with him even more. We're going to put even more stuff in it, and he thinks that. Yeah. He's, you know, I just think there's that. Anyway, so on the flip side, when you got the white hats taking these scenarios that the you know, the dark cult, as Tara Gillian likes to call it, they like to flip it and make it seem like it's them, the dark cult, doing it, and so, but it's also jolting people out of their slumber, and at the same time providing the necessary cover for the situation for the white hats to do what they need. It's great. Yeah, it's so clever. Or I could be wrong. I'm happy to.
Lewis has a very unique perspective on everything that's going around, but I've got to say it's definitely a very positive, optimistic view and energy that you have on everything.
And that's, you know, I was miserable because I was well stressed out and panicking for our family, because I thought they're really going for it. These globalists are really going for it. They're really going for it. And,
well, there's dark and light. there's the dark side and the light side. Now, everyone's going to wake up one way or another. You come through the light and then see the dark, or you come through the dark and you see the light. Either way, you have to see both sides of it. It depends how long you linger in the dark. But that's not all that there is, because you cannot have one without the other. So it's beautiful how it works, but what we wanted to talk about was the positive side of everything, and there is a positive side, and there is something good coming from absolutely everything that's happening in the world.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially take today for example. What are we going to do today? We're going to
meet a relatively new group of people that we've recently been introduced to, and they're getting a community together, and they're talking about local communities becoming sovereign. And everyone's at different stages in terms of, or has different levels. They've invested their time in different ways as part of their journey. And some people, not many people, have my super mega optimistic viewpoint. But it's okay to be wary and to, because we are in this transitional phase at the moment where the power structures, the people going around with guns and stuff at the moment are still
part of the old,
the
system.
old guard. But so we're going there, and we're going to talk about
we're going to go and listen
solar
today,
and decentralized tech, like to un-Google yourself and to have sort of decentralized tech solutions, communications, etc., which is right down my street.
Yeah, but it's a whole group of people that that are getting together and doing this kind of thing that probably wouldn't have done it.
And I'm going to play some guitar.
Yeah, you're going to go and play some guitar. It's a bit of a jam session afterwards. So it's, these kind of things are popping up all over the place. I mean, I know we've probably got one closer. We like to get involved in lots of different things and see what's going on. I think the main reason we're going is because of the music for Lewis. But yeah, it's a load of fun. This is how we
find out there's other groups forming as well.
Yeah, so. And we'll hopefully be having one here near where we live next month. I've been talking to the people around here, so there's more and more people wanting to get together and think of solutions and what can we do and moving forward, like trying to get as sovereign as we can. I mean, obviously where we live in the middle of it's called an urbanisation, so it's like it's not in the middle of nowhere. We've got neighbours, so we don't have a lot of land to grow our own food and stuff like that, but we can get solar. We can't get a well for water or anything like that, but we can get solar, so we can be efficient in that way, and we can help our friends garden their gardens, which is hopefully hopefully they can feed us.
This is the thing, we have got space.
We have got space. We've
to do gardening. We just haven't done the work, and we've got to look at how to do it. Do we use these vertical gardens? Do we use these independent tower, like these plastic tower things that auto circulate the water?
Yeah.
There's loads of things. We've got our neighbour next door. He's got a set of white pipes that circulate water and have fertiliser running through, and he's got lettuces like this. So many lettuces, because he brings us loads of lettuce, so we're eating loads of salad now. Yeah,
we're getting trim for the summer.
And so we're learning about all this kind of stuff, because all these people were bringing, as Mr. Ward would say, a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And we're all getting together and, well, what piece have you got and what piece have you got, and how can we get together? And if we all were in the same room and someone was hurt or someone had an illness, what would we do? How would we come together to fix that? That's really interesting.
Yeah.
We're talking about an issue that we've got with a wall that needs fixing, and how can we come together as a community, and what can we do to fix that? So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice way of moving forward, and a lot of people are trying to get back to natural solutions and doing things the natural way. But then we've got our techie guys that bringing the technical side of it. So that's really cool. I really like that.
The point I want to make is sometimes we get some people that are intent on just withdrawing as much as you can from society. So we just want our bit of land, and we just want to be self-sufficient, and we just and they think that's the way forward.
That's great for them.
But that's all right as long as the current state of politics means that you'll get left alone, and that the price of, I don't know, because you still need to buy stuff. You're not completely self-sufficient on everything, so you've got to go to a supermarket. What happens if you can't go to a supermarket, or they won't even let you order anything off of Amazon or something? So
this is the argument.
The old
the whole.
It's like, well, we're going to withdraw from politics, kind of thing.
Or we're going to have our parallel society living alongside. That's it. That's the one. The parallel thing.
And it's a nice idea, but ultimately, as long as you've got these psychopaths running around making all these rules. And putting you in the box if you don't abide by the rules. You've got to stay out the box. That's the game. Stay out the box. Thank Keith for that one.
Yeah.
Then
yeah, we like that one.
We've got to change it from within. And I was always apathetic towards politics because it just never interested me. And I guess because my bullshit meter was just going off through the roof.
Yeah. I agree. I've never really been into politics.
But that's the way they want it, and now we realise, oh, hang on a second, all these things that have been snuck in over time with the flavour of this government is here to look out for you and all that, which the absolute opposite is the case. So apathy was the desired effect, but now, rather than being, well, let's go parallel and let's just withdraw from that, and these psychos can do what they want, and the sleepers can live with the psychos, that's not going to do it. That's not going to get us. That's not going to get us to Nassar and Jassara.
That's not going to get us to the new world.
That's not going to get us the 6,500 secret patents that have been shelved. Who knows what.
No, it's a great idea, and it's worked in the past while people have been waiting for this moment to happen. But the moment we're in at the moment of the world is, if we keep away and keep to ourselves, then there's going to be come the day where we walk out in society and we won't be allowed to do anything anymore. So yes, we need to be doing our thing on the side and with our communities and stuff, but we still really need to be very aware of what is going on in the politics and be ready, because it's all going to come crashing down, and we've got to be ready to build the new solutions and be there to as a community, to step up and say, right, well, let's get together and build it from the beginning. And we have to, it's all got to be done from within, as with everything. Yeah. Everything is changed from within. You can't work on yourself. I can't change you. I have to change myself. I've tried for years. It doesn't work. So I have to change myself from within, and then that's the only thing I have control of. But the same happens with everything on every level. It's all got to be changed from within.
I like that point that you made about this world's breaking down, and we've got to be there ready with our new structures, or at least that we're getting ready and we're organising and we're preparing, so that there's not going to be as much resistance to the new coming in.
No,
because that's what I always have thought, that there's this two-pronged approach. You've got the military doing what I think this is what's happening. You've got the military doing what they're doing in the background. They're rescuing in the background and sorting things out underground and doing all these 10-kilometre deep explosions, which are earthquakes, apparently.
We get quite a few of them around here.
And at the same time, we've got to do our bit, which is waking up and organising and trying to come up with, well, how do we want things? Because we're the manifestors. We are the manifestors of the world that we're going to be in.
Yeah,
so we need to start manifesting that and putting into paper or putting into action what kind of world we want, so that when the military's done their thing and they've managed to weaken the current system enough so that it does come down, we're there ready for that.
Exactly. I mean, I suppose I learnt a lot from the book that I had the privilege of translating, that I actually realised how devastatingly controlling the world that we live in is. I think something that we've always known but we've kind of ignored, but now it's really important that if we want to change anything coming forward, we've got to be ready, and we have to be ready for when everything collapses, because that is what's going to happen, and it's happening all by itself. It doesn't need any help to collapse, because it's all coming down. We're seeing it. I mean, we're seeing it, we're witnessing it live. It's an amazing time to be alive, but we also need to be ready with the solutions. And it's like we're not going to just wake up one day and going to be in a whole new... Sorry. We're not going to wake up one day and be in a whole new world. We've got the old world, we've got the new world, and we've got the transition phase in between. And in that transition phase, we have to build the futures that we want, and that's where we've got like the solar power energy at the moment. Like we've talked about this a lot with a lot of our friends, but this happens
so we're
with
going
everything.
to go to this one now, yeah?
No, I'm just talking. I just
'Cause
flow. I'm in flow state.
All right, because I'm ready to jump in with that.
Okay, jump in then. You jump in with that.
So you've written on the whiteboard, old world.
We have a whiteboard here with all the notes so that we try and remember what we wanted to talk about.
Old world, transition in box,
Well,
and then new world, right?
It's in but it's in everything that we've been talking about.
Yeah. No, I know.
important.
I'm just
It's an important thing.
It's just fun.
That's
it. Because I was very guilty. I mean, when did I talk about this recently? Who was I with? And I spoke about how I just following Telegram. It was in Telegram, and I was seeing like, we're going to get the free energy, and we're going to get the med beds, and we're going to, from many different places. I was getting these data points which were aligning, which were, this is where we're going, and I don't know. I was, if I was expecting a flash to, and bang, we're in 5D, and we've got all this stuff, or it's a timeline jump, or
Lewis wanted to wake up on a spaceship.
Or we're going to get raptured off. I don't know, but I was very much hoping for that kind of instantaneous pop. Here we are, but no. That's as to now. I mean, it still might happen, but I'm kind of in for the long haul now, and so whereas say let's take energy, because I've for many years I've been confident that there's been free energy, and now all the new stuff coming up about Tartaria and all the just the structures. If you haven't seen the You Are Anon series about the lost history of flat Earth, and what's the other one? Anyway,
I can't say what I call them because I have names for things.
Anyway, so that's really good. It's very very thought provoking. Whether or not you fully agree with all of it, I think it's fascinating. And now even people like Esoteric Atlanta. She's
I love her stuff.
Talking about it. So it's really becoming a hot topic. So the free energy thing. So let's take that. And I'm thinking, well, what are we still messing around with solar for? In the long term, it's very environmentally damaging because of the cost of producing the inverters and the panels themselves. And it's why do that when we've got all this free energy in the ether? Why can't we just pick that up? These old civilizations had it, but we're not in that new place yet where we get that tech. We're in the transition. So I realised that, well, maybe with these communities and these groups that we're forming now, we're deciding, well, who's really into this right now? Who's really into energy independence? Who's stepping up right now to learn the tech, to learn, well, what have we currently got? So we're interested enough in electricity and we're in sovereignty to be able to put those wheels in motion, so that when, let's say, the time happens when we do have some other tech available, then we know, oh, well, these are the energy people. These are the guys that have stepped up already to take the lead with this during the transition. Rather than just, well, okay, we've been given this tech. Who's interested in using this new tech? Well, it makes sense to talk to the guys that have been doing the electric, the sovereign solution during the transition phase. So I think that's kind of what's forming now. It wouldn't surprise me if a great deal of people that have stood up and put themselves forward to kind of lead the way, or to just put themselves out there for whatever aspect. There's many different facets of this awakening. It wouldn't surprise me if these people get contacted in some way, shape or form and say, well, hey, we can see, because I don't know the level of intelligence that's the benevolent intelligence that's helping out, I think here is going to be good, and they might come along and say, hey, you've been doing this, how about, do you want to do this next? We've done a good job. I don't know. That's again, this the optimism.
It's your optimism. No, but it's how it happens. I mean, you hear about it all the time. People go, "Well, I just got this idea." These ideas come from places, and sometimes they're put in your head, or they come from the collective grid. And I think that goes well above the positive side of the awakening, which is what we wanted to talk about. But yes, that is definitely what is going to happen, and we're all we're all working together, but we all have our fortes and we all have what we do best, and things that drive you and your passion. And I think that's what's coming from now is we're all beginning to realise that we don't want to waste time on things that don't serve us and that don't bring us joy, and we want to do things that make us happy, help other people, and bring us joy, serve us a purpose at the same time. So it's kind of all mixed into one. I mean, I love all the natural solutions that are coming out on every level, down to planting your own food, to healing yourself just based on your diet. I mean, diet is something we've worked on for many years. We'll go into that another episode, but and it's all coming together, and like the healing technology for healing, being natural and using tech involved. It's all really amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got loads of cool stuff. We're working on a lot of cool stuff as well coming forward, but it's just
that's another.
As a whole, so we could go on for hours. We could do a coffee for hours.
We've got
things to do.
Let's look at the time on my.
Look at
bracelet.
the time. Yeah, great one.
That's another one of those transition tech things. It's like we've got the Spooky 2.
The Rife machine arrived. Yay!
So I've got that running now with a piece of my fingernail in the quantum remote part of this device, which supposedly is bombarding my nail, which has got my DNA in it.
Yeah, it's running a remote thing, a healing program, isn't it? It's a healing program.
Yeah, which detox. And with the quantum entanglement of my DNA and the piece of nail in this machine, wherever I am, is supposedly delivering the frequencies to me. And this first program takes 11 days, so I've got my old computer, because it's got to run on Windows, running for 11 days straight.
We're documenting the Rife process separately, and we'll be doing little videos upon that as well, because it's loads of fun. We're so excited. We're gonna heal the whole family. We're gonna heal the world with the Rife.
so again, all these things are starting to pop into our consciousness, and it's not just bang, here's the med beds. It's more like, well, how receptive are people to these things, and we've got to get over that. Well, everyone's a scammer, because one of the things that happens is, because we've all been, or society at large has been, it's got to be FDA approved. It's got to have a disclaimer, because the FDA mob will take you down and put you in prison or sue you into oblivion if you don't have FDA approval or the right FDA disclaimer saying that this is not proven, this is just sort of experimental, or what it can't be sold as medical
healing or medical
any
treatment.
Kind of medical device, even if it works.
No,
because it's not FDA approved. And I think hopefully a lot of people were starting to see FDA approved generally equals makes a lot of money for the pharmaceutical companies.
We had a friend, didn't we, that introduced us to the Rife. Did you know about the Rife before Kate showed us it?
I'd heard bits about it. But again, even for me, this is a relatively new thing in my consciousness that's accelerated hugely recently.
Yeah, see, I knew nothing about it, but I was very excited. And a friend of ours who was over from America, she had a machine and she'd healed herself with it, and man, it was just so exciting to know about it. So I'm very excited about documenting the journey on that, because we've got some little issues and a sick cat that we want to heal, that we can't get any CDS down his throat. So I'm really excited about the Rife thing.
Right, next, what did you have for natural solutions?
Well, the natural solutions, I think we kind of covered it, the positive side of all the natural solutions coming out, like the solar panels, like solar energy, and people building houses in caves and underground. I mean, the kids right now are watching in YouTube how people are building their own houses on land in cement. Obviously, it doesn't work here.
But here we've got the whole government gets in the way. They don't let you do that.
Here we got the government. That's why I was just talking about this to the kids. It's like, yeah, well, we can't do that. And then my son goes, well, we don't have bamboo either, which is which is very true. But no, you can't do that. I mean, like, we can't even fix our wall without getting legal permission. But there are solutions coming into play, and we are working on making. That's where it's so important that we change the things from within, and that we don't forget that the politics is somewhere where we all want to be, because we all want that to come down and we all want it to change. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
So that our natural way of being, because it's great if you live in the middle of nowhere and you've got loads of land and you can do what you want and no one's watching, but when you live somewhere like we do, everyone can see what you're doing. You want to be able to get on with it and not have people bother you. But like growing your own food where you can, so if we don't have land, grow it in plots, and the natural solutions with healing and making making our own creams and lip stuff. I'm going to make my own sun protection oil.
Oh, yeah. Raspberry oil.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, friend shared what's that, BPF, whatever it is. The protections that are in all the different oils. That's our little
SPF.
cat. SPF ratings. Hello. Yeah, here she comes.
Hello.
This is our noisy cat.
Hello, baby.
Hello, darling. Yes. You hungry?
Don't chew the cable.
No.
She's
hungry.
Right.
So anyway, that's what I wanted to cover about. There's so much coming out with natural solutions and how to heal yourself, and from anything, from addiction, from cancer, all sorts of different things, and people are coming together to help each other. The power of crystals and natural herbs and minerals. It's amazing. That's what I wanted to cover with it.
Yeah, and it, when you realise that there's cures for cancer and stuff that have been hidden, it would be easy to get angry about it, But I think it's I don't go back and get angry about it, because I've lost people. I look at isn't it great that we're moving out of that old way of doing things and into this new way of doing things. So try not to get angry, because that's a low frequency vibration that you don't want to have. So let's just be grateful for the new stuff that's coming out, and and if we've lost people on the way, they're probably off doing something really, really cool now, or we'll see them again soon. If we get the timeline repair stuff that I have dabbled in looking at.
Lewis he's like a quantum computer for all these different things that could possibly come up. So.
Anyway, spiritual reconnection. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I want to do a whole episode or two on talking about that, but that's another positive side of the awakening. Most people are reconnecting with their spiritual side in some way, shape or form. Everyone's beginning to realise that you have to work on yourself. I suppose that was another gift from everything that happened, where we were all kidnapped at home. You only had yourself and your family to deal with, so a lot of us started on that inner work a long time ago, and just refined it in the last couple of years. But it's I think it's like a lot of us, we're all changing constantly. And that's beautiful. I think it's beautiful.
I love the things that are coming out now, like because I like to know what's going on. I like to know as much as I can about what is, what is reality, what is where we come from, and it's been a huge question mark from day one, because we've been fed this narrative, Big Bang, etc. Evolution and so on, this godless scientific.
Yeah, I never believed that.
So it's great now to know. There was 777 books in the Bible. Most of them. Well, we got 66.
I read the Bible. It was very confusing because it felt like there's a lot of information missing.
Yeah, and they start saying, well, actually, it sounds like the Old Testament God was a jealous, maybe malevolent ET that demanded sacrifice, and that's not God's source. so that it's just fascinating.
Yeah, we could talk about that in our next.
However,
thing. Yes,
I think the thing that's really come, I don't know what specifically has made it happen, but I think the realization when I looked into the 17th letter stuff, which I was following a while ago, and then I sort of dropped out of it again because it felt like nothing was happening. But now it's undeniable, although it's just taking longer than we thought. I think just feeling like that we're dealing with, or we are in communication with, or we are being helped by higher dimensional benevolence, and that God is a part of this. In I don't know how to quantify that God. I haven't got a clue about that right now.
He's everywhere. We are a fractal of God. So.
But I've gone from like kind of like I don't think that when we die that's it. But I'm not really sure. But I kind of always thought, we get to do something else afterwards. That was a kind of, I had the odd spiritual, wonderful moment, and when I was really, really, really low, and then something happened, and it was like I just felt the love. I felt the love from God when this one thing happened, and I was so miserable, and then the one thing happened, and it was just like I was just bawling my eyes out. But that was a long time ago, and that's kept me going for a really long time. But seeing what was going on into 2017, and like how bad things were going with like what was happening with the children and with these elites and all that kind of stuff, and that very dark rabbit hole, that was hard, So this, what's coming on now, and I'm just a lot more confident, and I know there's more going on. I know there's more, there's benevolence, there's higher levels of existence, and we've been, either I don't know, I'm still between trapped, imprisoned, and this, or made it very difficult for us to get out of, for us to go through our regular development path, or that this is the development path and it's just like a really intense one. I don't know. I'm
going to cover that when we talk about spirituality, because it's going to be a very long
All right.
to talk to you about my side of the view on that. I'm still in training and learning. I learn every day, but there's a lot of positive stuff come out.
But sometimes people say, we've come back here. We were off somewhere else, and we've come from higher dimensions, and we've come back down in, and or it's just this is graduation.
Some of us have. Some of us have reincarnated for this particular moment in time. We will go into that another time.
Anyway, so that's the kind of conversations we're having. It was like, is it this way or is it this way? Not like, is there a God or isn't there? No. It's more like, I
think it's very obvious, especially with the spiritual war that we are living through. This is a very dark light.
That was the thing that woke a friend of ours up. When you really look into this whole, all the celebrities doing this, and the signs and the symbols and the symbolism that these dark cult types use, and when you realise, hang on, they know who they're worshipping. So when you realise that evil exists, and that there's evil entities that these elites are literally worshipping and sacrificing for, well then it's just a logical
conclusion
conclusion that then good exists, it's like, but it's just very well hidden.
You can't. Good and bad is a human concept.
But okay, so you got the darkness and the light, but that helped a friend. It helped quite a few
people actually that I know. I know 3 people that have seen it that way.
So it's like when you realise that not everyone's just this atheists, and we're all just like, this is it, this is what we've got, and you realise that the people running the planet are worshipping.
Anyway, we digress.
So we know there's more going on. We know there's more, but we've just been kept in this little box of, there was a big bang, and then we came out of some soup, and got monkeys, and all of a sudden we're humans, even though.
No, that's never sat right with me, because evolution, if we came from monkeys, then why are monkeys still here? I've never understood that side.
All right.
Anyway.
So spiritual reconnection. So that's great. That's wonderful. Because now, that removes a big element of fear, because well, okay, so what are we if we're gonna catch a cold or some monkey bollocks, okay. Well, we're not gonna submit. We're not gonna submit, because they can't control us with fear.
No.
Because we think that that's it, and that we've only got a few years left in our lives, and that's it. You can't control us like that anymore, because we know that we're eternal.
Yeah, you'd look at death in a completely different way once you start reconnecting spiritually. But we will talk about that in our next episode.
Right.
Next episode, we'll talk about spirituality.
Because we like to keep things bite-sized.
Yes, bite-sized. It's your fault today. There's another cat. Hello, sweetheart. So anyway, I've been working on my creativity. I've put 2 poems out now. The last one was with a bit of help. Well, Lewis has helped me with both of them, editing-wise. I'm not good at putting things online. Not that digitally blessed, but he's training me. He's going to get some more music up soon, aren't you? Got digging out all your old stuff.
Yeah. I just picked up my acoustic guitar and printed off some of my old lyrics from back in the day, and they're relevant now.
Yeah,
they're relevant now.
They're very relevant, and that's one of the things that I fell in love with before I met you. We've got so much going on because summer's coming up, and we're moving out for the summer. And the Rife machine's here, so we've got lots going on. But we like to try and keep our little Friday chats, and hopefully get some more creativity flowing over the summer when we're not as busy trying to get the houses ready, because that's what we're doing at the moment, isn't it? That's kind of where we're flowing.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anything you'd like to add?
No. I mean, I think talking about the summer plans and stuff, we're moving out for a financial reason, because we live in a nice part of the world where lots of tourism generally, we're at a low at the moment because of travel restrictions and whatnot, but we're just really going with the flow. It's been hard to plan, but we thought, okay, if we have a little adventure, move out of our house for the summer and go camping or go and see people.
Our friends asked us if it was something we'd like to do, because obviously we had to move into what was meant to be our business during this thing. And they said, well, you can come and stay with us. So we're like, okay, we'll thought about it, and now it's just happened, really, hasn't it?
We don't know where we're going. We know that people are coming to our house, but we don't know where we're going.
So we've got people coming to our house for July and August, and we've got to go somewhere. So we'll figure that one out when it happens. But luckily we've got very good friends, and we just might have to camp in their garden, but
So that flow state has also come out of this,
Yeah.
It's that, what's the word? Where you
detachment.
No. Where you give yourself and you just let go.
Let go, yeah, you hand yourself over.
That's the...
Yeah,
So we're just kind of going, okay, you know what? It's all going to work out. And I struggle with doing that with many things. But, with the summer, we'll just see how it goes.
I've been a control freak for most of my life. It's got a lot to do with addiction issues as well. But I've been in flow state for a few months now. I've literally been just, okay, whatever comes into my aura, that's what I do that day, or my orbit, that's what I do that day. So it's been very hard, like, what do we do for the summer? It's like, we're just going to have to flow through it. So we'll just pack some suitcases in the car and figure out where we're going. So our videos should be quite exciting for the summer months.
Whichever car that might be.
Yeah, we don't even know what car that's going to be. So that's, it's cool. Anyway, thank you for joining us on our bite-sized positive side to the awakening. But yeah,
have you got anything that we haven't covered, or even if we have, if you've got anything to say about that?
Yeah.
But we'd like to hear if there's any positive things that have come out of this that have happened to you. Please write them in the comments below. Or
anything that you'd like us to look into or cover, if we've gone through it, then we can definitely talk about it. We're very open people, and that's what we do, isn't it? So,
okay. Yeah. So don't forget to subscribe
and hit the
hit the bell,
give us
a like,
do the likes and all that jazz.
Yeah. and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.